Brett Banks, the rising star of the New York Mets. New York Mets fans, get ready to keep an eye on an exciting prospect in our system, Brett Banks. Drafted in the 11th round in 2023 from UNC Wilmington, this right-handed pitcher is making waves and showing that he's someone to watch. After a stellar 2025 season, where he boasted a 2.23 ERA over 36 and 1/3 innings and struck out 36 batters, he's definitely on the radar for the Mets organization and fans alike. Playing for the Brooklyn Cyclones, who clinched the South Atlantic League Championship, Banks had a phenomenal year. His performance earned him a spot in the prestigious Arizona Fall League, where he had the opportunity to pitch alongside some of the game's top prospects. How cool is that? Even though he left early, the experience was invaluable, and he described it as an amazing experience. It seems Banks is not just about the numbers. He's also about challenging himself against the best and learning from his peers. What do you think, Mets fans? Does the idea of our young guys competing and learning from each other excite you? Comment, "Go New York Mets," to show your support. Banks has been focusing on his pitch sequencing and command, acknowledging that he sometimes wasted pitches during the regular season. His walk numbers were a little higher than ideal, but he managed to hold opponents to a mere .192 batting average. That's impressive. His strategy? Trusting his pitches and letting them do the work. If he can cut down on those walks while maintaining that low batting average against, he could be a game changer for us. Looking ahead to 2026, Banks is setting some solid goals, staying healthy, continuing his development, and making his mark on the big league team when the time comes. The Mets organization is high on him, and it's clear he has the competitive fire to thrive in high-pressure situations. I love that attitude. It's what we need more of in our team culture. Many fans are eager to see how our farm system is shaping up, and Banks believes it's going to be a big year for development within the organization. He's confident that the Mets will remain at the top of the farm system rankings, which is crucial for our future success. Unfortunately, an injury sidelined him for the first month of the previous season, but he's determined to make a strong start in 2026, ideally with the Double-A Binghamton Rumble Ponies. He's been invited to big league camp for spring training, which is a golden opportunity for him to showcase his skills. The chance to pitch in some big league games could be the breakthrough moment he needs. What do you think about Banks and his potential future with the Mets? Is he someone you believe can help us compete in the upcoming seasons? Let's hear your thoughts. Drop the name of your city and your opinion about the New York Mets in the comments below. The excitement around Brett Banks is palpable, and as passionate Mets fans, we should all be rooting for him to succeed. 2026 could be a defining year for this rising star, and we'll be right here cheering him on as he inches closer to wearing the Mets uniform in Queens. Headline: Kodai Senga's future with the Mets. What will happen next? New York Mets right-hander Kodai Senga has made it clear he would prefer to stay in Queens next season instead of being traded. However, there's still a possibility that the Mets might explore trade options this offseason. With Senga's contract featuring a 10-team no-trade clause, he does have some control over his future, which adds an interesting layer to this situation. At 33 years old, Senga has become a focal point for trade discussions due to his impressive performance on the mound. Over his career, he boasts a solid 3.00 ERA and delivered a commendable 3.02 ERA in 2025. Given that he's set to make just $28 million over the next 2 seasons, along with an affordable club option for 2028, it's no wonder that rival teams are keen on him. With the free agent market for starters looking a bit lackluster, Senga could be viewed as a valuable asset for teams looking to bolster their rotation. But let's not forget that Senga's journey with the Mets hasn't been without its bumps. He has only made 52 starts in the majors over 3 seasons, largely due to injuries, including shoulder and calf issues that sidelined him for nearly the entire 2024 season. These injury concerns have raised eyebrows within the Mets organization. David Stearns, the Mets president of baseball operations, has commented that it's foolish to expect Senga to be a reliable starting option moving forward. This perspective could weigh heavily on the team's decision-making process. As passionate Mets fans, we must ask ourselves, how do we feel about Senga's potential departure? Sure, He has shown flashes of brilliance. But can we really rely on him to be a cornerstone of our rotation as he approaches his mid-30s? The Mets have already made significant roster changes this offseason, including trading Brandon Nimmo in a deal that brought in Marcus Semien. With other notable players like Jeff McNeil possibly on the trading block, it's clear that the Mets are looking to reshape their roster. If Senga does remain in Queens, this doesn't mean the Mets should hold back on pursuing another top-tier pitcher. The current rotation is shaping up with prospects like Nolan McLean and veterans like Sean Manaea and Clay Holmes. However, trading one of these arms could be on the table, especially if it means strengthening the overall reliability of the rotation. So, Mets fans, what do you think? Should the Mets hold on to Senga, or is it time to explore trade options? If Senga stays, how do you envision the rotation looking next season? I want to hear your thoughts. Comment, "Go New York Mets," below, and let me know your opinions, including which city you're from and how you feel about Senga's future with the team. Let's engage and get this conversation going. Ryan Helsley signs with Orioles. What this means for the Mets. In recent news, the Baltimore Orioles have secured free agent reliever Ryan Helsley on a 2-year, $28 million deal. This move comes after Helsley, a two-time All-Star and former closer for the St. Louis Cardinals, had a rocky stint with the New York Mets. After his trade to New York at the 2025 trade deadline, expectations were high, but unfortunately, he struggled on the mound, posting a disappointing 7.20 ERA over 20 innings. As Mets fans, we all remember the anticipation when Helsley joined our team. He was coming off a career year, having saved 49 games with a stellar 2.04 ERA just a season prior. Many of us believed he could be the missing piece in our bullpen, a reliable arm to help secure late-game victories. It's frustrating to see how things turned out, especially after the Mets traded 3 minor league players to acquire him. Do we give up too much for a player who ultimately couldn't perform in New York? Comment "Go New York Mets" in the comments. The Orioles are clearly banking on Helsley returning to form, especially with their current need for a closer due to Felix Bautista's injury. It's a bold move for Baltimore, and we can't help but ponder if they might see a resurgence from him. Do you think Helsley can bounce back, or is this a gamble that could backfire for the Orioles? As passionate Mets fans, we know the ups and downs of the game, and while it's disappointing to see a player we hoped could contribute leave, we have to focus on the future. What do you think the Mets need to do to strengthen their bullpen moving forward? Should they look for other free agent options or focus on developing young talent? Drop your thoughts in the comments, including your city and your opinions about the New York Mets. Let's engage in this conversation and keep our spirits high as we look ahead to the next season.